One thing that we have in common is that we are all consumers. In fact, everybody in this world is a consumer. Every day of our life, we are buying, we are considering a different variety of goods and services. However, we all have different tastes, likes and dislikes. And we all adopt different behavior patterns while purchasing, while making decisions. For example, Mr. X prefer to use Colgate toothpaste, Synthol soap and Clinic shampoo, while Mrs. X, the spouse, may prefer the Pepsodent toothpaste, Lux soap and Sunsilk shampoo. Similarly, different types of people may have a different set of preferences in food, clothing, books, magazines, recreational activities, forms of savings, and the stores from where one would prefer to shop from, which may be different not only from their family members but also from their friends, neighbors, and colleagues. Remember, guys, when consumers make decisions and decisions are the reflection of their choices and preferences, actually they are engaged in problem solving talks. That is, they are engaged in satisfying a perceived need. This can also be interpreted as that consumer behavior refers to the act of consuming a good or a service. Consumer behavior is actually specified as the study of how individuals, groups, and organizations select, buy, use, and dispose of goods, services, ideas, and experiences in order to satisfy their needs and wants. Similarly, there is another perspective which came up with the ideas of Walter and Paul. Consumer behavior is actually the process whereby individuals decide whether, what, when, where, how, and from whom to purchase goods and services. Consumers are, in this case, if you realize, you can visualize that they are directly involved in making decisions. They are also ready to, or they have prepared themselves to sacrifice or to spend their available resources like time, money, and energy in obtaining and using the goods and services. Therefore, remember that consumer is a person who purchases goods and services for his or her own personal needs and consumption. Remember that each consumer is unique, and this uniqueness is reflected in the consumption behavior, pattern, and process of purchase. Therefore, the study of consumer behavior provides us with reasons why consumers differ from one another in buying and in consuming products and services. Think about what products and services do we buy? Why do we buy? Also think, where do we buy? How we buy? And you can think about similar such factors. For example, if a manager knows through a research that mileage is the most important attribute for a certain target market, the manufacturer can design the product to meet this preference and criterion. Similarly, an automobile manufacturer can advertise a car's maintenance-free features and sporty style while downplaying the mileage. Now, such factors are to be considered. You know why? Because this conveys something very specifically about behavior and the pattern of advertising campaigns that needs to be followed. Remember, guys, an advertising campaign has to be based on accurate prediction of consumer behavior and its impact on the market and product promotion. The basic determinants of consumer behavior that control the internal thought process of consumers, their needs or motives, personality, bearing, attitudes, perceptions, these are to be considered. These are to be reflected in any campaign. Remember that consumer is continuously influenced by the environment of family, social class, reference groups, and his cultural milieu. Consumer behavior is primarily related to psychology, sociology, and anthropology. The psychological factors are known as individual factors. The social factors are related to sociological behavior of the socio-cultural environment in which consumer behaves with other members of society. Consumer behavior, therefore, must be analyzed under factors affecting consumer behavior, factors affecting purchase behavior, factors affecting consumption behavior, factors affecting disposal behavior, and the factors affecting the advertising process.